Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 100. Today's album is incredibly important to me in my journey as someone who enjoys music, but also as a musician. This album kind of opened up, or was the beginning of the opening of a whole new world. And it was one that I was so incredibly excited to buy. I've listened to it a McZillion times. Not even a real number, but there it is. Rainbow, Straight Between the Eyes. This album is phenomenal. The cover is a bit controversial as to whether people like it or not. When I was growing up, I always thought it was the coolest thing in the world. As I've gotten older, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cartoonish and not as impressed with it as I used to be. But this is a phenomenal album from beginning to end. So videos for this were coming out in the early days of MTV. I do have, now this came out in 1982, and I do have a 1982 copy on Polydor Records. This one, I love that rainbow, like the eye logo and all that. You can see the faint, let's see, where is it on this side? The faint little rainbow in the eye. They're pretty cool. But the songs on this, absolute gems, every one of them. You get the eyes from each of the members of the band. I spent like 32 seconds trying to figure out who was who, and then it was pretty obvious after a while. You got the list of songs, who's on it, all that good stuff. I think there is an inner sleeve too. The cover's in pretty good shape. A couple of bends, not too bad. A little bit of shelf wear, obviously, and then a little bit of bend there. On the back, though, we do have a sticker and, a couple of scratches here and there. But overall, can't complain too much. That one's probably the worst. But we should have, it should be black. The sleeve that came with the lyrics to all the songs. All of the songs. And then this picture of the band, which, don't forget this picture, because we're going to see it again in just a minute or two here. But I'm going to go over the songs with you guys because top to bottom, excellent album produced by Roger Glover. I mean, you can't go wrong having Roger Glover produce you. And of course, we've got Ritchie Blackmore on guitar, Roger Glover on bass, Bobby Rondinelli on drums, Joe Lynn Turner on vocals, and his first album with Rainbow, David Rosenthal on keyboards, replacing Don Airey, who was on Difficult to Cure and Down to Earth, which I may have mentioned is like my all-time most listened to album. But side one, we open with Death Alley Driver. Killer track, great video, featured the video game Turbo. We have Stone Cold, very well-known song. Excellent vocal on that. Bring on the Night, Dream Chaser. Love that. Just flanged out shaker opening, tight squeeze. Not a huge blues fan, but that is a killer track, especially the guitar solo. Tearing Out My Heart. Weird way to end a first side, but great track, especially the live version on Live Between the Eyes. And then we get to side two, and we kick it off with Power. Also, great version on Live Between the Eyes. Mistreated, killer version on Live Between the Eyes. Rock Fever, probably my least favorite, but I still really like it. Very energetic. Lyrically, it's kind of a bummer for me, but musically, it's fantastic. And then one of my favorite Rainbow songs, really one of my favorite all-time songs, Eyes of Fire. Killer vocal on that, killer solo. It just explodes at the end. Egyptian scales. What more could you ask for? Great album just from top to bottom. Honestly, there's really nothing I would change. Even, I mean, yeah, I don't like the lyrics to Rock Fever, but I think the song's a great song still. Tight squeeze. For me, not liking the blues, it is good to have a blues on a rock album, and that one is really, really good. That solo, I mean, for me, the solo and Joe's vocals really make it pretty special. Now, I did say that there was a companion album with this, and to remember that photograph, and there is, and must have been taken the same day. I mean, they look like they're wearing different outfits, but hairstyles, everything exactly the same. I'm going to guess it was the same photo shoot. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But this is the single, the 12-inch single for Stone Cold. And what we have on here is, this was, of course, produced by Roger Glover. Both tracks were taken directly off of the album, but we've got the long version of Stone Cold, which I haven't listened to in a while, but I think it's just a longer fade out. And then Rock Fever, as you can see, another picture of the band on the back. Same outfits, same day. Roger looks like he's going to go rob a bank on a horse. But also, again, Polydor, this was made in England 1982, and this is a 1982 copy. This would have only been a 1982 album. You wouldn't have seen a re-release from a 12-inch single. So those are like one pressing only, pretty much. And I mean, there might be some like collectible reissues and stuff, but not here. Then we have the classic red Polydor logo for Rainbow. This is a 33 RPM single. So a lot of times, even though it's a 12-inch vinyl, they'll do them on 45 speed. I don't know why, but that's how some of them are done. So you always have to be careful what speed you're playing them at. You're going to know right away as soon as the song doesn't sound right. But I mean, it won't damage the record or anything, but you know, it's just not listenable at the wrong speed. So there it is, guys, Straight Between the Eyes, hugely important album for me. This led to me discovering all of the Rainbow catalog, which was the first band that I bought their entire catalog. Led me to discover Deep Purple, which, you know, then exploded into a whole other thing. Led me to bands like Whitesnake and probably to Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath as well, because I don't think I knew those bands before this. And it all started with the video for Stone Cold. That's where it came from. My favorite band previous to that was Genesis. And I think I already owned Abacab on vinyl. But once I found Rainbow, that was the end of me listening to really, I mean, I listened to a lot of other stuff, but Rainbow became quickly the focus of all my purchases. I'm going to get everything this band ever did and all of that. And then, of course, once the floodgates of Deep Purple opened up, that was like, okay, I'm never going to spend money on anything else. So anyway, great stuff. Check it out, guys. Straight Between the Eyes. Excellent album. Check it out. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.